Hello, hello, hello. How's it
doing?
going there? Not
good.
too bad. So, do you want to say, do you want to introduce yourself and say what brings you out here today? We've got 14,000 people watching.
Oh, well. Obviously, I spoke at the last event that Tommy had in July. I've been liaising with him. And I said I'll come along and support today. And after what happened yesterday, I feel even more obliged to make sure that I'm here. We've got to make a stand. It's time to stand. We either stand, or in 12 months' time, we're going to be in a digital trap that we really won't be able to get out of.
They've put him in prison, haven't they?
Well, they've remanded him in custody for appearing in court on Monday. That was completely unnecessary under the Terrorism Act. Tommy Robinson is no terrorist.
Well, I think the terrorism thing was the fact he wouldn't give them the PIN code to his phone.
Because he's got sensitive information in there, he's got his sources, he's got the contacts and messages from people who've been sexually abused, who are victims of sexual abuse, and he should never have been charged or arrested under anti-terrorism law. You know.
Are you worried that this is going to be used against more journalists and political opponents of the government?
Of course it is. Of course it is. We're all going to be Tommy Robinson. We're all going to be Tommy Robinson.
Well, do you think it's legal? Do you think it's constitutional for MPs to sort of arrogate themselves, or the government to arrogate to themselves the power to remove our right to remain silent?
It was brought in under anti-terror laws, but I mean, in what way has Tommy Robinson done anything that would qualify for those laws? I mean, it's a joke, actually, and I'm afraid I think we're all becoming enemies of the state, and when the state's corrupt and criminal, that's where we have to be.
So are you making a speech here today then?
I'm hoping to. I did prepare a few words.
Oh, wonderful. So are you going to be speaking about the court system and the justice system? Because I know you've been having a really rough time. I'm not sure whether you want to mention that briefly.
Oh, they tried to bankrupt me on Thursday. I fought that off at huge cost. Thursday.
So what happened on Thursday then?
Yeah, it's all legal matters. I don't really want to go into the details, but yeah, it's I'm currently in effectively 5 legal cases at the moment. It's lawfare.
And that's how they tie you up. You've got no time.
Punishment. The process is the punishment, and also it's very, very expensive.
And you see what happened to Peter Lynch. What do you think about that with him?
I think it's just appalling. I did post Peter Lynch in his own words. He's been portrayed in the mainstream media as a far-right thug, when actually, if you listen to him, he's a softly spoken grandfather concerned about the world that his grandchildren are going to inherit. And he's dead now, and it's appalling, quite honestly.
What do you think needs to change with Parliament and our court system, and how do we change it?
Well, if you look at what Keir Starmer said, clearly he influenced the judiciary, and he's got lots of contacts in the judiciary, given his job head of the CPS before he was in Parliament. We need separation, true separation of the judiciary from the legislation, and that's not happening. And as far as our Parliament, we need radical change. It's not serving the people. We need to move to direct democracy. If it were up to me tomorrow, I'd get rid of the House of Lords today. They've done nothing to protect the interests of the people. It's a spam bin for politicians who've played the party game and get their rewards by going in to the House of Lords, the most expensive care home in the world. Get rid of that. I'd halve the number of MPs. Controversially, I'd increase their pay significantly, but I would ban all external interests while you're serving as a member of Parliament, and I'd bring in the Swiss direct democracy system, whereby the public would have to vote 4 times a year in referendums. They would effectively be the final legislation. Democracy is from the old Greek. It's demos is the people, kratos is the power. How powerful do you feel? that legislation would empower you. You'll have to be interested in politics. And people say to me, "Oh, Andrew, I'm not interested in politics." Well, the problem is that the politicians are very interested in you, and they're going to be increasingly interested. You either get interested or you're becoming a victim. That's what we need to get to. Proper democracy. And that scares them to death. They hate referendums, they hate elections, and there's some pretty important elections for America and us and the rest of the world happening on the 5th of November.
Do you think they hate the working class as well?
I think I don't think they're that prejudiced. I think they just hate all of us, and they hate black, and they hate white, they hate Muslims, they hate Christians, they hate Hindus, they hate men, they hate women, and if they can get us all fighting each other, they can get on and do whatever they want. And they're against all of us, and it's time we all stood together. We need to hang together, or we're going to hang on our own.
Wow.
All right.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Join our Patreon and get access to exclusive behind-the-scenes content. You can see everything behind the scenes.
We're talking about mobile phones and how dangerous they are.
Our podcasts, our guests, and any other bits that we pick up along the way that we don't put on the main channel. You can also see any bits that we do with Defiance Records. So please do support us and just help us do what we do, and thanks to everyone who does support us. But yeah, we could do with more help. Please do join us. Consider coming down to our upcoming Resistance GB Live. You can meet the guests, you can engage. We've got Kate Chemrani supported by fantastic freedom band Whom by Fire. It's Thursday, 31st of October, down at Finsbury Park's The Night Owl. Doors open 5:30.